Ladies and gentlemen, friends, strangers who walked in here today, carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders, thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up when everything inside you might have screamed to stay home, to hide, to pretend tomorrow will somehow fix itself. I see you. I feel the quiet desperation in this room because I've stood exactly where you are right now. Pockets empty, future blurry, heart pounding with the question that keeps you awake at night. How do I even begin again when I have literally nothing? Tonight we're going to answer that question, not with theories, not with gimmicks, not with another list of 10 easy steps that assume you already have something to work with. We're going to answer it with truth. Raw, honest, life-changing truth. Because the fact is, you can restart your entire financial life with exactly $0 in your bank account, zero credit, zero safety net, zero excuses left. And when you do it the right way, you don't just survive, you rise so high that the people who once looked down on you will one day look up and ask, how did you do that? Let me take you back for a moment. Picture a young man, doesn't matter his name, his country, his background. He's 28 years old. He's sleeping on his cousin's couch because the eviction notice came 6 weeks ago. His last paycheck disappeared into medical bills for his mother. His phone is about to get cut off. Every morning he wakes up with the same thought. I am a failure. Sound familiar? I bet it does. I bet some of you are living that exact story right now. That young man had $0, zero plan. But he had one thing nobody could take away. His decision to stop waiting for rescue and start becoming the rescuer of his own life. That decision is where everything changes, not the money, not the economy, not the government, not your boss. You, the moment you decide that your future is not determined by your current balance, but by the purpose you choose to serve, that is the moment you restart. And I'm here to show you exactly how. First, we have to talk about why most people never make it. They chase the what. They say, I need a better job, I need more money, I need a side hustle. They download every budgeting app, they watch every YouTube guru, they try every hustle. And 6 months later, they're still broke, more frustrated, more convinced that the system is rigged against them. Why? Because they started with the what instead of the why. They never asked the most important question in the universe. Why do I want to restart my financial life in the first place? Let me ask you that question right now, right here, out loud in your mind. Why? Is it so you can stop worrying about rent? So your children never have to feel the shame you felt? So you can finally sleep without the knot in your stomach? So you can look your parents in the eye and say, I made it? Or is it deeper than that? Is it because you know somewhere in your bones that you were put on this earth to do something bigger than just survive paycheck to paycheck, that you have gifts, ideas, heart, that the world desperately needs? Your why is your fuel. And when you have $0, fuel is the only thing you've got. So let's find yours. Close your eyes for 10 seconds. No, really do it. And picture the day you wake up and money is no longer the loudest voice in your head. What does that day feel like? Who is with you? What are you doing? What are you proud of? Hold that picture. That is your why. Write it down tonight when you get home. Tape it to your mirror, because every single action we're about to talk about only works when it's connected to that picture. Now that we have your why, let's talk about how you actually do this with nothing. The first step is the hardest and the most powerful. You decide to play an infinite game instead of a finite one. Most people treat money like a race with a finish line. If I just make 10,000, I'll be okay. That's finite thinking. It keeps you small. Infinite thinking says, I will keep creating value for other people every single day for the rest of my life, and the money will be the natural result. When you have zero, finite thinking will destroy you. Infinite thinking will save you. Here's what that looks like in real life. You wake up tomorrow morning with nothing. No job, no savings, no hope. Instead of scrolling job boards in panic, you ask one simple question. Who can I help today, even if I get nothing in return? That question is your new morning ritual. Say it out loud right now with me. Who can I help today? Feel that? That tiny shift from what can I get to who can I help is the switch that turns on the lights in a dark room. I'll give you a living example because stories move us more than strategies ever will. There was a woman in a small town, single mother of 3, buried under $20,000 in debt after her husband left. She had zero skills the world seemed to value, but she loved cooking. Every day she would cook one extra meal, rice, lentils, whatever she had, and walk it to her elderly neighbor who was alone. No charge, just kindness. That neighbor told her daughter, who happened to own a small catering company. 6 months later, the woman was working part-time in that kitchen. 1 year later, she started her own weekend meal prep service out of her tiny apartment. Today, she clears 6 figures and her children have never gone to bed hungry again. She started with zero. Her only investment was service. That is how you restart. You become so valuable to other people that they cannot ignore you. You don't wait for permission. You don't wait for capital. You start giving what you already have, your time, your attention, your care, your ideas, and the universe has no choice but to pay you back in ways you cannot yet imagine. The second principle is brutal honesty with yourself. When you have nothing, lies become expensive. You cannot afford the lie that, I don't have time. You cannot afford the lie that, I'm not good enough. You cannot afford the lie that the economy is bad so I can't succeed. Every lie you tell yourself is a brick in the wall keeping money out. So you tear that wall down with truth. Every single day you look in the mirror and you say three things. 1, I am responsible for my life. 2, my past does not equal my future. 3, I will create value today no matter what. Say them with me right now, loud enough that the person next to you hears you. Feel the power rising in your chest. That power is yours. Nobody can take it. Now we get practical, because inspiration without action is just entertainment. You have $0, so what do you actually do on Monday morning? Step 1, inventory your gifts. Not your experience, your gifts. What do people already come to you for? Advice, a listening ear, fixing things, making people laugh, organizing, cooking, teaching, whatever it is, that is your starting capital. Write it down. That list is worth more than any bank account. Step 2, offer that gift for free to 10 people this week. 10, not 1. Message them. Call them. Show up at their door if you have to. Say, I know you're struggling with X. I'm offering to help you with it for free this week because I want to get better at serving people. Watch what happens. Some will say no. That's fine. But 3 or 4 will say yes. And those yeses become your first testimonials, your first relationships, your first proof that you can create value. Step 3, document everything. Take pictures. Write down the results. Post them. Yes, even if you only have a cheap phone and free Wi-Fi at the library, not to brag, to prove to the world and more importantly to yourself that you are becoming the kind of person who delivers. Social media is not a vanity tool when you have 0. It is a megaphone for your value. Step 4, ask for the sale only after you have delivered 10 times the value you plan to charge. Never before. When you have 0, your reputation is your only currency. Protect it like gold. I want to talk about fear for a moment because fear will visit you every single day on this journey. It will whisper at 3 a.m. that you're crazy. It will shout when the landlord calls. It will scream when your friends laugh at your new hustle. Here is the truth about fear. It is not the enemy. It is the compass. The bigger the fear, the closer you are to the thing that will transform your life. So when fear shows up, you don't run. You thank it. You say, thank you for showing me exactly where I need to go. Then you take one more step. Let me tell you about the day I personally hit rock bottom. I had lost everything. Business collapsed. Marriage strained. Savings gone. I sat in my car in a parking lot with $23 to my name and tears streaming down my face. In that moment, I made the decision that changed everything. I decided that my pain would become my platform, that the very thing that almost broke me would become the story that helped others rise. I started sharing that story, not polished, not perfect, but raw. People started reaching out. They started paying me to help them avoid the same mistakes. Within 18 months, I was earning more than I ever had in my corporate life. Not because the economy suddenly got better. Because I got better. Because I stopped hiding and started serving. You have that same story inside you right now. Your lowest moment is not your end. It is your beginning. The world doesn't need another perfect success story. It needs your real one, the one that starts with 0 and ends with impact. Let's talk about the compound effect, because this is where most people quit. They expect results in 30 days. When they don't get them, they stop. But restarting your financial life with 0 is not a sprint. It is the longest, most beautiful marathon you will ever run. Every day you help one more person. Every day you learn one new skill. Every day you keep your promises to yourself. Even when nobody is watching. Those tiny actions stack like bricks in a cathedral. You cannot see the cathedral on day 1. But on day 700, you will stand inside something majestic and realize every single brick was placed by you when you had nothing. I want to give you 3 non-negotiable daily practices that cost $0 but will make you unstoppable. First, gratitude. Every morning write down 3 things you are grateful for, even if it's just, I woke up breathing. Gratitude rewires your brain from scarcity to possibility. You cannot feel poor and grateful at the same time. Second, learning. 30 minutes every day consuming content that makes you better. Free podcasts, free YouTube University, free library books. The person you will be in 5 years is built by the information you feed your mind today. Third, movement. Your body is the only asset you own with $0. Walk, exercise, sweat. A strong body carries a strong mind, and a strong mind attracts strong opportunities. Do these 3 things religiously, and you will become the kind of person that money cannot ignore. Now I want to address the elephant in the room, debt. Many of you are drowning in it. Here is the truth. Debt is not a life sentence. It is a teacher. You negotiate. You call every single creditor and you tell them the truth. I am rebuilding my life and I want to pay you, but I need a realistic plan. You cut every unnecessary expense until your lifestyle matches your current reality, not your old dreams. You get creative side work, bartering, selling everything you don't need. But most importantly, you forgive yourself. Carrying shame about past mistakes is the most expensive debt of all. Let it go. I want to talk to the parents in the room. You feel it heavier than anyone. The guilt of not being able to give your children what you wish you could. Listen to me. Your children do not need more stuff. They need to see a parent who refuses to quit. They need to watch you get up after every fall. That lesson is worth more than any college fund. When they see you restart with zero and win, they will learn that they can do the same. You are not just rebuilding your finances, you are building their future character. To the young people here, you have the greatest advantage of all time. While others complain about the economy, you compound. While others wait for perfect conditions, you start messy. While others chase likes, you chase mastery. Your zero today is your superpower tomorrow. Let me give you one more story that still moves me to tears. There was a man in his 50s who lost his job of 30 years. Pension gone, savings gone, health failing. Everyone told him it was too late. He started driving for a ride-share company, not because he loved it, but because it gave him time to talk to people. He began asking every passenger one question: what's the one thing you wish you could change in your life? Then he listened, really listened. He started connecting those passengers with resources he found online during his downtime. Word spread. People started paying him extra just to keep talking. Within 2 years, he built a small coaching practice around life transitions. Today, he earns more than he ever did in his corporate job, and he says the best part is, he finally feels alive. Age is not the barrier, zero is not the barrier. Belief is the only barrier. So here we are, you now know the why, you know the how. The only thing left is the decision, right here, right now. Will you leave this room the same person who walked in, carrying the same weight, the same excuses, the same fear? Or will you leave as the person who decided that today is the first day of the rest of your financial life? I'm not asking for applause, I'm asking for action. Tonight, when you get home, do these 3 things. 1, write your why on a piece of paper and put it where you see it first thing every morning. 2, reach out to 3 people and offer them your gift for free. 3, look in the mirror and say out loud, I am starting over with zero and I am going to win. Do that and the universe will start moving mountains for you. Not because you're lucky, because you finally became the kind of person mountains move for. I want you to imagine something with me. 5 years from now, you walk into this same room, maybe not this exact building, but you feel the energy. You're no longer the person who came here tonight. Your bank account is healthy. Your family is secure. Your debts are gone. You sleep peacefully. And someone walks up to you and says, how did you do it? How did you restart your financial life when you had nothing? You look them in the eye, smile, and say, I started with why. I chose to serve. I refused to quit. And I proved that zero is not the end. It's the beginning of everything. That person can be you. That future is waiting. The only question left is, are you ready to claim it? Thank you. Now go out there and build the life you were meant to live. The world needs your comeback story. And I cannot wait to hear it. Restarting financially is not about finding opportunity. It's about becoming the opportunity everyone else is looking for. Pause and let that land for a second. Most of us spend years scanning the horizon for the next big break, the perfect job posting, the viral side hustle idea, the investor who will finally see our genius, the lottery ticket of luck that changes everything. We treat opportunity like buried treasure waiting to be discovered. But when your bank account reads zero and the bills keep arriving, that treasure hunt becomes exhausting. It drains you. It makes you feel small. It keeps you in the passenger seat of your own life. What if the entire game flips the moment you stop hunting and start becoming? What if the real shift isn't, where is the money hiding? But how do I turn myself into the kind of person, the kind of presence, the kind of solution that money and people cannot help but flow toward? That single reframe changes everything. Because when you become the opportunity, doors don't just open, they swing wide. People don't just notice you, they seek you out. Resources don't trickle in, they arrive in waves. Think about the people you already admire in business, in your community, in your industry. The ones who seem to attract success almost effortlessly. They rarely talk about how hard they hustled to find their break. Instead, they talk about the problems they solve, the value they delivered, the trust they earned over time. They became indispensable. They became the shortcut, the safe bet, the guaranteed result. When clients, employers, partners, or customers look at their options, they don't compare price tags first. They compare how much pain goes away when they choose that person. That is the position you want to occupy. Not the cheapest option. Not the flashiest. The inevitable one. So how do you actually do that when you're starting from absolute zero? You begin by understanding that becoming the opportunity is an identity shift before it is ever a bank balance shift. It starts in the mirror. Right now, today, You look at yourself and you stop seeing broke, stuck, behind. You start seeing becoming. You start seeing someone who is deliberately constructing value that the world cannot ignore. That internal decision is non-negotiable. No one else can make it for you. No amount of motivational quotes or new planners can substitute for it. You must claim the identity before the evidence shows up. Because the evidence always follows identity, never the other way around. Once that claim is made, the daily work becomes very clear and very focused. You stop asking, what can I sell? And you start asking, what pain can I remove from someone's life today? Pain is the currency of opportunity. Wherever there is frustration, fear, confusion, overwhelm, delay, embarrassment, or loss, there is a gap screaming to be filled. Your job is not to invent the next billion-dollar app from your bedroom. Your job is to step into one of those gaps, any gap, and become so good at closing it that people start saying your name when the pain shows up again. Let me make this concrete. Imagine you live in a neighborhood where small business owners struggle to get customers through their doors. They post on social media, they print flyers, they wait, and nothing happens. You have $0, but you have eyes, a phone, and time. You walk into 5 of those shops tomorrow and you say, I see you're trying to get more foot traffic. For the next 7 days, I will stand outside your shop for 2 hours every afternoon holding a sign I make myself and personally inviting every person who walks by to come inside and see what you offer. I won't ask for money up front. If it works and you get new customers because of me, we can talk about what's fair afterward. You do that consistently. You smile. You speak with warmth. You learn what makes people stop and listen. Within 2 weeks, at least one of those owners will see measurable results. They will feel relief. They will tell others. Word spreads. Suddenly, you are not begging for gigs. You are the person business owners call when they feel invisible. Or take another angle. You notice parents in your circle are overwhelmed trying to help their children with schoolwork while working long hours. You love explaining things simply. You start offering free 1-hour study sessions via video call to 3 families you already know. No fancy platform, just WhatsApp or whatever is free. You show up prepared, patient, encouraging. The children improve. The parents exhale. They tell other parents. Soon someone says, I'll pay you to do this twice a week for my son. You didn't chase clients. You became the relief they were desperately searching for. This pattern repeats everywhere. The mechanic who fixes neighbors' cars for parts cost only until word gets around that he's honest and fast. The woman who organizes chaotic home offices for free the first time so families can breathe again. The young coder who builds simple websites for local nonprofits in exchange for testimonials until paying clients line up. None of them started with capital. They started with courage to serve first, serve deeply, serve visibly. They became the opportunity. Becoming the opportunity also means mastering the art of being seen without screaming. In a world drowning in noise, quiet competence cuts through. You don't need to go viral. You need to go valuable. Every time you deliver, you leave behind proof, photos of before and after, screenshots of grateful messages, short videos of results, written testimonials typed in the notes app of a phone. You collect that proof the way a squirrel collects nuts for winter. Then you share it strategically, not bragging. Simply showing, last week I helped this family get their child from failing math to passing. Here's what the mom said. That quiet sharing compounds. People forward it. They tag friends. They remember your name when pain appears in their own life. There is a discipline here that most people refuse. It is the discipline of consistency when no one is watching and no money is coming in yet. You show up on the days you feel invisible. You deliver when you're tired. You keep your word when it would be easier to disappear. That discipline is what separates the people who restart from zero and stay restarted from the people who restart and then fade again. Because becoming the opportunity is not a one-time performance. It is a lifestyle. It is who you are when the paycheck is small, when the rejections pile up, when doubt creeps in at midnight. You keep building the reputation brick by brick until the structure is so solid that opportunity has no choice but to land on it. Let's talk about rejection because it will come. You will offer help and hear, no thanks. You will pour hours into a project and the person will ghost you. You will feel foolish. Use that feeling. Let it sharpen you. Every no teaches you something about how people decide what language lands, what fears block trust. Collect those lessons the way an athlete collects reps. Each one makes your next offer stronger, clearer, more irresistible. Rejection is not proof you're failing at becoming the opportunity. It is proof you're in the arena practicing. Another layer, you must become obsessed with results, not activity. Too many people restart from zero and fill their days with busy work, endless scrolling for ideas, watching tutorials they never apply, making to-do lists that never get done. That is motion, not progress. Becoming the opportunity means you measure yourself by outcomes delivered to other human beings. Did someone's stress decrease because of you today? Did someone save time, make more money, feel understood, sleep better? If the answer is yes, you move the needle. If the answer is no, adjust. ruthlessly. The market doesn't reward effort. It rewards results. As you stack results, something magical begins to happen. Trust compounds. One person tells two, two tell four, four tell 10. Your name starts traveling without your permission. In the best way, people say, you need to talk to this person. They fixed the same problem for my friend. You didn't buy ads. You didn't cold call. You became the referral. That is when restarting accelerates. Cash flow starts small, then steady, then surging. Not because you chased it harder, but because you became someone worth chasing. You also have to protect this new identity. The world will try to pull you back into old patterns. Friends will say, just get a regular job already. Family will worry, this sounds risky. Old habits will whisper, take the safe paycheck even if it kills your soul. You will feel the gravitational pull of average. Resist it. Surround yourself with proof of what's possible, stories of others who restarted from nothing, free podcasts of people who became the opportunity in their field, daily reminders of your own small wins. Feed the new identity, starve the old one. Let me share a few more real-world patterns I've seen repeated across cities, countries, cultures. The street vendor who started giving away one free sample every morning until customers lined up before he even opened. The tutor who recorded short math explainers on a cracked phone screen and posted them in local parent groups until schools started asking for his help. The cleaner who showed up early, stayed late, and left handwritten notes about extra things he noticed and fixed until offices started requesting him by name and paying premium rates. The graphic designer who redesigned one cafe's menu for free because he loved their coffee until every new cafe in the area wanted the same look. None of them waited for opportunity to knock. They built a door so attractive that opportunity had to walk through it. This path demands patience. Not passive waiting, active patience. The kind where you plant seeds every day knowing the harvest comes later. You water them with effort. You protect them from weeds of doubt. You trust the biology of growth even when you can't yet see the shoots. Most people quit in the quiet middle when the early excitement fades and the big payoff hasn't arrived. If you stay, if you keep becoming more valuable every single week, the math eventually becomes unfair in your favor. Compounding doesn't care about your starting balance. It only cares about consistent direction. There will be moments when you doubt the whole philosophy. When the rent is due and no one has paid you yet. When you compare your zero to someone else's highlight reel. In those moments, remember this: every person who ever restarted from nothing and built something meaningful felt exactly what you feel now. The difference is they treated the feeling as data, not destiny. They asked, what can I do today to become 1% more of the opportunity? Then they did it. Small, steady, relentless. Becoming the opportunity also means learning to say no to things that dilute you. You cannot be everything to everyone. As you gain traction, people will offer distractions, side projects that pay a little but pull you off your core value, relationships that drain more than they give, shiny objects that promise quick wins. Protect your focus the way a lion protects its territory. Say no so you can say yes to the things that make you more indispensable tomorrow than you are today. Eventually, the shift becomes visible to others. They start asking, how are you doing this? They start introducing you to their networks. They start investing in you, not out of pity, but out of self-interest. Because you have proven that when they choose you, good things happen. That is the ultimate financial restart. Not a lump sum that falls from the sky. A position of power where value flows to you because you first flowed value outward. You become known for something specific. The go-to person for X. The one who fixes Y. The name that comes up when Z happens. Specificity is magnetic. Generalists compete on price. Specialists attract premium. Narrow your lane until you own it. Then widen it only after dominance is clear. Keep learning. Every book, every conversation, every failure becomes fuel to make you sharper, faster, more insightful. The person you become in year 3 of this journey will look back at year 1 and barely recognize the version who started with 0. That evolution is the real wealth. Money follows. You will face seasons of acceleration and seasons of plateau. Both are part of the process. In acceleration, double down on what's working. In plateau, dig deeper, refine your offer, deepen relationships, sharpen your message. Plateaus are not punishment, they are preparation for the next level. Your health matters. You cannot become the opportunity if exhaustion owns you. Sleep, move, eat what fuels you. A clear mind sees gaps others miss. A strong body carries you through long days of service. Your word becomes gold. Promise only what you can deliver. Deliver more than you promise. That reputation travels farther than any marketing budget ever could. You start mentoring others not when you're rich, but when you're still climbing. Teaching cements your mastery. It attracts people who want to be near your trajectory. Some become collaborators. Some become clients. Some become lifelong advocates. The financial restart completes itself not when your account hits a certain number, but when you no longer feel scarcity in your bones. When helping others feels like breathing. When money is simply the scoreboard of value created. When you wake up excited to solve problems because solving them makes the world slightly better and your life significantly freer. You are no longer looking for opportunity. You have become it. And once you live there, zero is never the end again. It is only ever the launch point.